How you doing? Okay, we're gonna tighten this up. We're down to our last description. We're still talking about spiritual visual impairment. So today we're gonna talk about color blindness. Color blindness. Now, when color blindness begins to happen and take place, it doesn't necessarily stop you from seeing things as much as it doesn't allow you to be able to differentiate between colors, your blues, reds, greens, and yellows. It kind of funnels those colors together to where you're seeing like a dark gray or mist, or kind of a misty color. So it's not really taking away your eyesight as much as it's taking away your perspective or your perception. And that reminded me of the scripture that's in 1 Corinthians 13 and 11, which says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And the interesting thing about color blindness is it typically, more times than not, affects men or the male child, which I found to be extremely interesting because we're living in a time where our young men are struggling with mental maturity. They're struggling with emotional maturity. Granted, there's a world of individuals that struggle with these things, but it seems to be more of our younger men who are unwilling to graduate into a more mature level of life, or they have lived in an atmosphere where the examples that they have witnessed, the men who may be in their sphere have always gravitated to immature decisions, being irresponsible, not taking responsibility for decisions that are made. And so it has them dwarfed to a certain degree. There's a term for that. They call it arrested development. So what we want to do as believers, we want to talk to our young men in particular to encourage them to have a relationship with the Lord so God can begin to reveal his plan for them so that they can come into a area of development, maturity, responsibility, and being confident in themselves, being able to overcome things by navigating through them with rational decisions and not lashing out in immature ways. This is a problem. And this is something that needs to be addressed, and we can help address it